How's it going, my bud? SilverDFanng back with more YouTube reactions. We got more Fat Files. The real reason Sriracha disappeared. So, I knew a little bit about the Sriracha issues of recent times. I did not know how deep and how stupid the rabbit hole went. You're in for a treat. Enjoy. Okay. We're back with the Fat Files with the Fat Electrician. The real reason Sriracha disappeared. For anyone that doesn't know, Sriracha was a major hot sauce brand, but for the last year or two, it has been missing. Let's find out why. I know why, but let's find out.
Fully coming to accept the fact there's absolutely nothing I can do without falling into a rabbit hole. I quit eating hot sauce like 10 years ago, went and bought a bottle of my old favorite hot sauce, and it tastes different, and now I'm reading appeals from the 2nd Appellate Court District of California.
By the way, Cholula is my go-to hot sauce. Love Cholula.
Today we're talking about Sriracha, okay? Like 10 years ago, it used to be my favorite hot sauce, and then one day there was some huge shortage of Sriracha. Nobody could get it. There was like a drought or a lawsuit or something, and the only place you could find it was on eBay for like $300 a bottle. It was insane. So like a normal person,
I did not know that. I knew that it was like, there was a shortage. I did not know about the scalpers. The hot sauce Sriracha scalpers.
Switched to a different product.
Blue, you live in Texas. You eat Tex-Mex and barbecue. How can you not like hot sauce? Lol, my aunt denied the shortage. How do you deny a shortage? Because she doesn't believe in climate change? How does that have combinated? You like spicy food, but not hot sauce. I'm not judging you, I'm just intrigued.
And haven't really looked back since, and then 3 days ago, I got a wild hair up my ass for whatever reason that I wanted some Sriracha. The drought or whatever was causing it to be messed up 10 years ago is probably over, and I could probably just go to the store and buy a bottle of Sriracha.
Yeah, the shortage was because of crops. And I understand climate change now, but like, you don't have a bottle that equals a shortage. How do you like, I don't understand, MAGA.
So that's what I did. So I find it on the shelf. I find what I know to be Sriracha, you know, the green little cap with the squeezy bottle with the chicken on it, and then right next to it is like
It's a rooster, motherfucker.
5 other bottles of hot sauce that are all claiming to also be Sriracha.
But I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Okay, that's weird. Usually, like knockoffs, you're allowed to knock off a product, but you have to like call it something different. You can't just be like, I'm gonna make a knockoff of Coca-Cola and call it Coca-Cola. You're gonna get sued into oblivion. Why is the term Sriracha not trademarked? But you know what? Doesn't matter.
I know the theories and the understanding of the social mentality of people that will not look at basic information. But it floors me how far they'll go into that denial.
Because I know what the real Sriracha is, so I grab a bottle of cock sauce, I go, I check out, I take it home, I eat the Sriracha. This is not Sriracha. I don't know what it is, doesn't taste the same, okay? It's been 10 years. Could my taste buds have changed? No, I'm fat. An elephant never forgets. I know what Sriracha is, and
True. I will never forget what Eastside Mario's bread tastes like.
that shit's not Sriracha. Okay, something's gone horribly wrong and I need to figure out what it is. My initial thought was, okay, over the course of the past 10 years, some investment firm, some venture capitalist group bought out Sriracha, added a bunch of preservatives, changed the recipe, made it worse so they could improve profit margins and make a bunch of money, and ruined a perfectly good product. Per usual, that's probably what happened. Then I look into it,
pretty
I was
normal.
wrong, it's
Welcome,
way worse.
Nikki,
Let's
on
just
the
get to
beast.
the ad, I'm upset.
Hey, Nikki! I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised this man has kids. I've never seen his kids in one of these videos before. We're learning about Sriracha.
Mom, hey Dad, Mom wants to know why there's 50 of these in the kitchen.
It's a long
Research.
story. Just tell her I needed it, okay? Just give me that. Fine. Anything else?
So she doesn't know why there's 50 of the hot sauces in the kitchen.
Yeah, well, neither does the audience yet. We're getting to that part.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, we got to tell them the whole story first.
But tell us why there's 50 of those hot.
This is the first time this kid has ever reading a script. I've watched that video. Oh no, no one was shorter. No one weighed short. Oh, his kids are. Oh, they're adorable.
Hot sauce is in the kitchen.
I will, but you gotta watch the whole video. Now look at the camera and say delete me.
Delete.
Perfect.
No, no, this feels
Love
scripty.
See you later. This video is brought to you by Delete Me. Okay, super simple, straightforward business model. You give them money, they turn around and make sure the data brokers aren't selling your personal information on the internet. Okay, what does that even mean? I'll break it down for you.
He's still making money off of Delete Me. We'll watch it.
On the internet that's free isn't actually free. They're turning you into a product. You see, pretty much anytime you check that little box that says, I agree to the terms and conditions, what you're allowing that company to do is harvest all of your personal data. They turn around, they sell it to data brokers, and then the data brokers turn around, throw it up for auction for companies to bid on so that they can target you with hyper-specific.
I hate it's a product that we need. I hate that this exists, but we do need this product.
Ads 24/7. But when you have Delete Me, they monitor all the big data brokers.
Kids, if you ask your kids to ask something to your partner,
on one of their websites,
they'll do it.
Automatically fills out an opt-out request, which they leave.
I believe that. It's just the wording and the way he was saying it felt forced.
Legally have to abide by and stop selling your information. And then Delete Me continues to monitor these sites in case they acquire that information again. They will resubmit the opt-out request again. Simply put, a subscription to Delete Me is what actually makes everything that's free on the internet truly free. In my opinion, it's definitely worth it. I've been using them since before they were paying me to talk about them, and I'm going to keep using them after they quit paying me to talk about them. If you want to give it a try, I'll have a link and a discount code down below. Let's get back to the video. All right, we're just going to take it from the top. Our story begins in 1975. The communists take over Vietnam. Living inside of Vietnam at this point in time is a 30-year-old man of Chinese descent by the name of David Tran. And as far as I can tell, David Tran is just a normal dude that has a hobby of making hot sauce in his...
You know, just a normal trans man. Just living his trans life.
Free time. Okay, ethnically, he's Chinese, but he was born in Vietnam. He spent his entire life in Vietnam. He's Vietnamese, by all accounts, okay?
My kid spoke with a British accent for a full year, but then again, we love his kiddos. He is a really good guy. I'm not gonna lie, I have heard that before. I've had friends who said that their kids also spoke British for like a year.
But the communist government, over the course of the next couple of years, starts adopting anti-Chinese policies, and eventually he is forced to flee his home country of Vietnam and board a ship with 3,000 other Vietnamese people of Chinese descent, and that ship's name is the Hoi Phong. Now, the Hoi...
How many trans men do you think were in the Hoi Phong? Whole family of trans men. I'll stop now.
Phong is supposed to be taking all these people to Hong Kong so they can be refugees, but Hong Kong at this point in time is being run by the British, and the British are like, no, we're not fucking taking you. So they're stuck out on this ship for over a month, not knowing where they're gonna go, and finally America steps
5,000 Vietnamese stuck on a boat. Oh my god, these poor people.
In and is like, it's fine, bring them here, we'll take everybody in as refugees. So now David...
I believe it was also Peppa Pig.
Tran, at 33 years old, finds himself in California, doesn't speak English well, if at all. He's here through absolutely no fault of his own, and he's got to figure out how to make a living, and the only thing he's got is hot sauce. He doesn't need to speak English, he doesn't need to have technical skills, because everybody appreciates a good hot sauce. If he can make it and sell it, that's going to be how he makes his living. So that's what he does. He starts making his hot sauce, and he's literally refilling old baby food jars with a spoon and funnel with this homemade hot sauce, and then hand delivering it on a bicycle to restaurants and anybody else that'll buy it. And the dude is just working his ass off doing this. He's working 18 hours a day. There's even a story that one of his kids tells later in life that when they were a baby, he would work for 18 hours a day making this hot sauce, and he would have all the, juices and everything all over his arms, and he wasn't even able to hold his kids when they were babies because he smelled so much like pepper and hot sauce it would make the kids cry. Like, it's impossible.
That might be the saddest story of a hardworking man I've heard. He can't hold his baby because hot sauce juice is all over it.
Not to love and respect this guy. Like, dude is just forced into the worst situation imaginable, has to move to a foreign land where he doesn't speak the language, and just works his ass off and does everything he can to provide for his family. And it works. His hot sauce becomes like a cult thing in LA, and by 1980, he buys a 5,000 square foot warehouse where he ramps up production. Okay, do you want to stay home?
Welcome, Nikki on the beats.
Being a pirate is a wretched thing. Do what you want, cause a pirate is free.
You are a pirate! Hey, Nikki and the Bees, thank you for becoming one of my bones, part of the ship, part of the crew.
Impressive that is. Like, I'm gonna say it a little bit slower. He moved to California, doesn't even speak English in 1970.
He didn't move to California. He was forced into California. He wanted to go to Hong Kong.
And by 1980,
That's even worse.
2 years later, he buys a 5,000 square foot warehouse in LA, which is renowned for having cheap real estate.
By the way, even in the 80s and 70s, LA real estate was garbage. It was expensive.
Okay, this dude is a complete badass. Okay, so he gets this new factory up and running. Once he does that, he adds a couple of new flavors, and one of them is going to be based off of a Thai-style hot sauce known as Sriracha. Sriracha was the town that this style of hot sauce was originally invented
I didn't know
in,
that.
so he just calls it Sriracha. He slaps a chicken on the bottle because that's his zodiac sign, and then puts a bunch of Chinese
Bro, me too. I'm also Year of the Rooster.
shit all over it, and he calls his company Fat Foods.
Wait. I didn't know this. That's weird because China supported communist Vietnam. Hong Kong. They went to Hong Kong. Hong Kong was owned by the British.
Foods named after the ship that brought him to America. Okay, just so we're all on the same page, a Vietnamese guy flees communism, moves to America, starts a hot sauce company, takes a recipe from Thailand, puts it inside of a Chinese branded bottle, and then sells a shit ton of it to achieve the American dream. I love everything about this story. It's the most American shit ever.
Incoming
From here,
ad
over
break.
the coming year,
That's fair, girl. I don't know. I don't know why they kicked out the Chinese out of Vietnam.
Sriracha becomes outrageously popular. At this point, he probably should have trademarked it. Couple of problems. One, you can't really trademark Sriracha because the word Sriracha is just the name of the town the sauce was created in. It'd be like somebody trying to trademark the word Los Angeles. You just
Fun fact, earlier we found out that Games Workshop, the creator of Warhammers, literally they call their orcs, they spell their orcs O-R-K-S, so they could trademark it. So I feel like they could have trademarked it Sriracha because they did spell it differently.
you can't do it. So at this point, most people would be like, okay, we're going to give it a different name so that we can trademark it. But David Tran is like, no, we're calling it Sriracha. I don't care. If you want to make another hot sauce and also call it Sriracha, that's fine. I'm still going to win because my shit's better. He's just a complete gangster about the entire thing.
Patents are for the week.
Okay, another $1 into the reasons you should love David Tran jar. Like, that is the best attitude on the planet. Like, I'm going to beat you not because my lawyers made it illegal for you to compete with me. I'm going to beat you by just beating you and outperforming you and giving the customer a better product. And while that is a great attitude,
Look, Sriracha's not for me, but it is a good product. You can tell that it's made with love.
to have great attitude alone isn't going to make a great product. A great plan is, and David Tran has that plan. Fat Foods is going to make their sriracha by using fresh, locally sourced ingredients. He is buying red jalapeno peppers from
Beautiful.
local farmers, having them picked in the field, taken straight to his factory, and turned into hot sauce
Beautiful.
the exact same day. Is that
Beautiful.
cost effective? Absolutely not. He could probably make way more money, have way better margins if he was buying a bunch of shit from overseas that was dehydrated, thrown into a barrel, and shipped across the ocean, but that's not what he wants to do. He wants to have it fresh, and he wants to support the American economy. He literally says he locally sources everything that he puts into his hot sauce as his way of giving back to America.
It's delicious,
for bringing
Nikki,
him
on
into this
beans.
country as a refugee. Okay, impossible not to love this guy. Comes to America, works his ass off, does not compromise on morals whatsoever. Like, I'm gonna do the right thing, I'm gonna create a superior product, I'm gonna support my people, and I'm gonna fucking win, and that's exactly what he does. Fast forward, by 1988, he's selling so much hot sauce that he's having trouble sourcing enough red jalapenos to be able to keep up with demand, and a local farmer, Craig Underwood, the owner of Underwood Ranch, hears about his issue and writes him a letter. Not an email, not a text message, doesn't give him a call, writes him a letter that literally just says, and I quote, "Do you want me to grow you some peppers?" To which David Tran is like, hell yeah, grow me some peppers.
I love, this is the Americana I love. Just like the simplest people being like, hey, bro, call and I will come. I love these stories.
Need a lot more peppers. So Underwood Ranches starts planting these red jalapeno peppers, and because the ranch is so close to his factory, they're actually able to pick the peppers, put them directly onto a semi-truck, drive them straight to the factory, and within 6 hours, they are turned into hot sauce. And this is what makes Sriracha so good. They're using the freshest ingredients possible, not a bunch of dehydrated shit that they can buy from anybody. So Sriracha explodes in popularity even more. Okay, and it's worth noting, he's not even trying
Cute.
to market Sriracha. The product markets itself. The Sriracha has never spent a single penny on advertising or anything else. It's just like, you try it, you like it, you buy more, the end. That's David Tran's entire business model. I create a superior product, the customers will come to me. And it works. Sriracha starts hitting mainstream. It's getting
It used to work. Now you need to publicize. Like, some people will find you grassroots, but sadly, just having a good product is not enough.
sold all over the United States, at which point Sriracha does start getting some backlash. There's interviewers and reporters asking questions like, hey, why don't you make it a little bit milder? Some people say it's too hot.
How about you go fuck yourself? It's hot sauce. You don't like Sriracha, just don't eat hot sauce, whitey.
To which David Tran responded, and I quote, then use less. Hot sauce is supposed to be hot.
Yeah.
Duh.
This motherfucker don't miss.
Now, the relationship between Underwood Ranch and Hoi-Fong Foods goes on in a conventional sense for like the first 10 years. Basically, Underwood Ranch grows some red jalapeno peppers. They sell them by the pound to Hoi-Fong Foods. That's how it's normally supposed to go. And by
You don't like hot sauce? I'm sorry, you were born weak.
at the end of that 10-year period, Underwood Ranch is supplying 95% of all the
Yeah,
red
Snoop is a
jalapenos to
sellout.
Hoi-Fong Foods, and Hoi-Fong Foods is accounting for approximately 25% of Underwood Ranch's business. The problem is Sriracha is getting more and more popular by the day, and he needs more red jalapeno peppers, and he wants Underwood Farms to grow them because they have a great relationship. So he goes to Craig Underwood and is like, hey, I need you to grow more red peppers. To which Craig Underwood is like, hey, look, you're accounting for 25% of my business already. That's probably too much for diversity. Like if I lose you as a client, I'm going to go out of business. I can't risk growing more of, my available land on these red peppers because it's just too risky. I can't do it. Go ahead and buy some red peppers from somebody else. I'll keep supplying you as much as I possibly can though.
How about no?
But David Tran doesn't take no for an answer. He's like, no, you grow the best red jalapeno peppers. I need you to do it. You're the best at it. Here's the deal. Rather than you footing the risk of having to grow these peppers and then me buying them by the pound, I will pay you up front for every acre of these peppers that you plant. Meaning that
Gangster. You might not know, but that is a gangster move.
David Tran is now footing the risk of if there's a drought or, a famine or there's a bad crop, whatever, the fault and the risk is no longer on Underwood Ranches. It is now on Hoi-Fong Foods, which is a deal that Craig Underwood just can't turn down.
No.
So he agrees. And from here, as far as I can tell, they shake on it and that's that. There's no contracts, no nothing. Underwood Ranches over the coming years converts all of their farm into just growing red jalapeno peppers for Hoi-Fong Foods. The entire thing is one crop for one client on a handshake agreement. And you know what? It works like a charm. And now that Underwood Ranches is only growing one crop, they start to become experts in growing red jalapeno peppers. Him and his right-hand guy, a guy by the name of Roberts, actually develop and build a harvester so they can harvest all of the peppers with a machine rather than sending people out into a field to pick them by hand. And this goes on for years. Craig Underwood and David Tran actually become really good friends.
There probably was contracts, but it probably came a lot later.
They watch each other's kids grow up. They're going to each other's houses for holidays. Everything is perfect. And then by 2007, David Tran has a meeting with Craig Underwood and is like, hey, you need to make your farm bigger because I'm going to need more peppers because I am buying a new factory that's going to be 600,000 square feet. Okay, and if you don't know, acquiring more farmland is not a simple process by any stretch of the
In California? No, it is almost impossible.
imagination pretty much anywhere in the United States, but especially in places like the Midwest or California where real estate is notoriously expensive. But from Craig Underwood's perspective, this is, not just a business acquaintance. This is my homie. He knows where I live. He knows my kids. We've been working together for 20 years at this point. If he needs it, I'm going to get it done. Underwood Ranches invests millions and millions of dollars and acquires 1,800 additional acres close to the new Hoi-Fong Foods factory so they can keep supplying them. Now, presumably, some of that land was bought, but a lot of it had to be leased. And when you lease farmland, you're leasing farmland for decades at a time. Nobody is leasing farmland for like a year or a couple years at a time. It's like, no, you're going to sign a lease and you're going to be on the hook for this lease for the next 30 years, which is extremely risky for Underwood Farms, but he's betting on Sriracha. This thing is blowing up. It's selling everywhere. And he's been with this guy for 20 years. It seems like a sure thing. Okay, and if you weren't around or you don't remember, in like the 2010s, Sriracha was absolutely everywhere, right?
It was a massive brand. Sriracha was already popular, but when they got merchandise, Sriracha was like everywhere. It was beloved by the world. It was a fashion brand. It was accessories. It was like it was millennial core. It was very millennial core. Millennials still love promoting products that they love. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Gur. I also have a lot of shirts just of logos of products I like.
Like, they were putting Sriracha on hats, shirts. Lay's had a potato chip Sriracha flavor.
I remember this. It wasn't that good.
Are refreshing.
David Tran
Thanks,
got paid
Nikki
for
on
none of that,
beats.
by the way. He could have probably sued for trademark infringement, not for the word Sriracha, but for the use of his rooster logo, but he never did because he just viewed the entire thing as free advertisement, which it absolutely was. Like, if you're in the hot sauce aisle looking for a new hot sauce, you're like, oh, I've
GMM also had a Sriracha episode.
seen 17 hipsters wearing a Sriracha hats and Sriracha shirts, and there's Sriracha cookbooks and Sriracha Lay's potato chips. I'm gonna buy fucking Sriracha. So Craig Underwood goes through with it. He acquires all this new land, fronts millions and millions of dollars, puts himself on the hook for decades for this farmland, but everything's gonna work fine because Sriracha is not going anywhere, and for years, it goes great. The new 600,000 square foot factory opens up. Underwood Ranches is at full tilt making red jalapeno peppers. They are growing 100 million pounds of red jalapenos a year, delivering 50 to 60 semi-loads every single day to Hoi Fong Foods.
Spicy.
And despite this scale, they are still going from picked off the plant to turned into hot sauce in like 6 hours. Hoi Fong Foods is now a $1 billion company selling hundreds of millions of dollars worth of hot sauce every single year. And Underwood Ranches is, as far as I can tell, the largest red jalapeno operation in the world. And at this point, Sriracha is continuing to grow at 20% revenue year over year, which is insane. These two men have literally made something incredible off of nothing more than a handshake agreement and both working their ass off.
But
and then it all goes to shit.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
According to the court documents, in approximately 2014, David Tran wanted to give his sister-in-law, who was working for the company, a big raise, but he felt that his wife and son, who sat on the board, wouldn't approve it. So David Tran came up with an idea that he was going to make a new company and just give the company to the sister-in-law.
No. Oh, this man just wanted to do right by his family, but dude, again, this man was not a businessman. He was just a hardworking dude who had a great product. Dude, you can't do that. Even if you trust your family, those family members definitely know how business works and are sharks. Oh, no.
As a way to get her to make more money. And that new company was going to be called Chili Co., and Chili Co.'s entire job was going to be acquiring red jalapeno peppers and ingredients for Hoi Fong Foods, and that was going to be that. That's how he was going to pay his sister more money. Okay, I'm going to say that again, but slower, so we're on the same page. David Tran has just elected to hire somebody who presumably is not qualified to take over the operation of acquiring red jalapeno peppers, which is not even a job that needs to exist because he has one guy that gets him all the peppers that he needs on a handshake agreement. But for some reason, we're going to interject this person that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing to try to acquire.
Everyone loves middle management. Everyone loves a stopgap, right? Everyone loves not going from point A to point B. Everyone loves a good C, right? This makes a lot of sense.
The peppers that they already fucking have. Okay, I've said this a million times. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. Everybody's making literally billions of dollars selling hot sauce and growing chili peppers. Just don't touch it. Leave it alone. Continue making money. But that's not what somebody that's a new hire that doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about is going to do. Absolutely not. Chili Co. starts looking at the numbers and they're like, well, you know, actually, we could buy these dehydrated chilies from China and they would only be...
You dumb motherfuckers. You dumb motherfuckers. Again, remember what I said about Hasbro. Literally, except for the sister, most of these people probably don't care about Sriracha, don't know anything about why Sriracha works. They just know how to make money.
$300 a ton. So I think that Underwood Farms should try to compete with these dehydrated chilies from overseas.
Dumb
while he's supposed to
motherfuckers.
also deliver brand new fresh chilies that are picked and then turned into hot sauce in 6 hours while he's growing them in California, of all places.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
So Chili Co. goes to Craig Underwood and is like, hey, we could get this competitor's chilies for $300 a ton. We want you to be able to sell your brand new fresh chilies and deliver them to us with your semis for $500 a ton, to which Craig Underwood is like, absolutely not. It literally cost me almost $700 a ton just to grow these things. That's not possible. At which point the appropriate response would have been, oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. I'm an idiot. Forget I said anything. Is that what they did? Absolutely not.
But that's simply not possible.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why
not, you stupid bastard.
The next year, in 2015, Chili Co. pulls Roberts, aka Craig Underwood's right-hand man that helps him run his entire farming operation, aside and tries to hire him away.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, this is literally just business bullshit. Oh, you said no to us? You, the man who helped make this product good that we don't know anything about? How about we destroy it just so we make a quick buck?
From Craig Underwood. Roberts declines and kind of attributes the entire thing to a miscommunication.
He's absolutely right.
Around the same time, David Tran gets a hold of Craig Underwood.
Yeah, you should have look, do what every other billionaire does, Tran. Just give your sister a condo and pay for her bills so she can, do nothing for the rest of her life. That would have been better for your company.
And is like, hey, can we fly a drone over your farming operation? We just want to, look at the crops that are growing, which is weird. He's never done that before, but also, drones are new. I've been working with this guy for 20 some odd years. Fuck it, why not? Yeah, as long as it's for, your personal use or you just want to look at it, that's fine, go ahead. So, Hoi Fong Foods' David Tran flies a drone over, records all this footage of their farming operation, and then nothing seemingly ever comes of it. Then, 2016, Craig Underwood is on vacation out of the country. They know that, so they have Roberts come to the Hoi Fong Foods factory where the Chili Co. head and David Tran basically sit Roberts down and say, hey, we're starting this new company, Chili Co. You're gonna work for us. Not asking him to work for them, pretty much telling him, you work for me now, to which Roberts is like, no, I don't. I've been working for Craig Underwood for 2 decades. That's my guy. I'm not leaving him. They get super pissed. They then turn around and are like, okay, well, we could still buy this stuff from China for $300 a ton. You're going to sell us your stuff at $500 a ton, or we're going to go elsewhere. They literally can't sell it to you at $500 a ton. It costs them almost $700 a ton to grow this shit. So not only is demanding that price delusional, this also breaks the entire thing just by going from paying by the ton to the original agreement of we're going to pay you for every acre that you plant, because it shifts all the risk back onto Underwood.
No, I feel like that would be easier if he was just sleeping with his sister-in-law. Because the whole job thing, no, I think he really thinks he's doing right by his sister. But, oh, dude.
Farms, and now they're screwed because they only grow jalapenos at this point, and they're stuck. So in the coming months, Underwood Farms tries to negotiate a new price with them, but it doesn't really go anywhere. So by the 2017 season, he's not able to plant any jalapenos, so there's no jalapenos in the ground. There is now a massive gap in the supply chain that's going to have to be filled somehow. So Chili Co. goes about trying to buy peppers from everybody else that they possibly can, because you're never going to believe this. Nobody has 100 million pounds of fucking jalapenos lying around. And it's really hard to find that now.
I want to make that clear. Red jalapenos. Green jalapenos is the big one. Red jalapenos is very distinct.
I am stunned. Just stunned.
So in an effort to help find that, they give all the drone footage of all the proprietary techniques and technology and all the intel that they had gathered through espionage to all the other jalapeno farmers without Underwood knowing.
This is bullshit.
So essentially, Underwood Farms is basically dead in the water, and they're on the hook for all these thousands of acres of farmland that they leased for the next 20 to 30 years. They're going to go out of business.
I have no idea. I think it has to be a different strand, but it might just be color.
While that's going on, Chili Co. and Hoi Fong Foods are getting jalapenos from anywhere and everywhere else that they can, which means the quality isn't that great. Some of the peppers are picked too early. Some of them are dehydrated. They're having to use green chilies instead of red jalapenos. It's a giant fucking nightmare, which leads to the hot sauce tasting different, looking different. It's like a burnt orange.
That is poop. That is literally liquid poop. That is poop.
Color. People are mad that the Sriracha doesn't taste like Sriracha. Nobody knows what's going on. So now presumably Hoi Fong Foods is also financially hurting, so they just start digging through all their accounting, and they're like, actually, we think a couple years back, I think we overpaid Underwood Farms $1.5 million. We're gonna take them to court and sue them, so they have to give us—
You dumb motherfuckers. You're right, Gert. As soon as he became rich, he became stupid.
$1.5 million, and that's gonna help with our financial burden.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
Okay, and I cannot stress to you enough that this is probably the dumbest fucking idea imaginable. Okay, I've been threatened with quite a few lawsuits.
Literally, he is eating himself from the inside. He's destroying his own company for no good reason.
suits in my day, and I have avoided all of them by saying one simple statement back to their lawyers, and that statement is, okay, sue me, I would love to go to discovery with you. Because discovery is this magical part of the
discovery process is a formal pretrial stage in civil lawsuits where parties gather evidence, documents, and witness testimony for each other. It prevents trial by ambush, by both sides to know the witness accounts. I get it.
Judicial process where both parties have to come to the table with all of their evidence, and you can subpoena and get all of their internal records and figure out exactly what was going on, which presumably is exactly what happens. And when Chili Co. and Hoi Fong Foods have to turn over all of their shit, it becomes very apparent that they have been plotting for at least 3 years to screw over Underwood Farms, at which point it goes from them suing Underwood Farms for $1.5 million to Underwood Farms suing them for $23 million and winning in court.
It was perfect.
You dumb motherfuckers.
Perfect.
And this is what caused that magical time like 10 years ago, 2016, 2017, where nobody could find Sriracha on any shelves anywhere. And if you could, it was like this weird different color. It didn't taste the same. It was all because it wasn't the same. The whole thing with Sriracha was they had fresh red jalapeno peppers that were grown in California in a particular part of the world that were plucked, transferred.
There are studies that show rich people are more inclined to immoral behavior. I mean, this isn't moral, absolutely. But it's also just bad business. It's bad education.
To the factory and turned into hot sauce in 6 hours flat. It was literally a multi-billion-dollar money printing machine with a beautiful backstory with 2 hard-ass words.
Look, immoral behavior is gross, but it's even worse when you are a monster and you're an idiot.
Working men on a handshake agreement that built a fucking empire together, and the entire thing was harpooned by one stupid. It's greed. It's pure greed. Like, why? Everybody was.
It's not even pure greed. It's nepotism that destroyed him.
Winning. It wasn't broke. Why would you try to fix it? You've got some moron that didn't build this company whispering in your ear like, oh yeah,
we all have mansions, we're all rich as shit, but you can have a little bit bigger mansion and be a little bit more rich if you fucked over all your friends.
And then you blew up the entire thing. Congratulations. So yeah, that's why you couldn't find Sriracha.
You should have done what every other billionaire does with their family. Buy him a condo.
On the shelves 10 years ago, and that's why the Sriracha today tastes a little bit different. Oh, but you know the funny part, you know what Underwood Farms did after they won the $23 million lawsuit with Sriracha? They turned around and started making their own Sriracha, and guess what they called it? Fucking Sriracha, because you can't trademark the word Sriracha. So now, made with Underwood Farms with the actual chili peppers, you can get Underwood Farms Sriracha, and I'm gonna be honest, it tastes very similar to the original Sriracha, but it's a little bit spicier, and I kind of like it more. So yeah, I found my Sriracha.
Okay, so do not get the rooster, get the dragon with a black label Sriracha. That is the OG Sriracha. I love the Fat Electrician. His videos are so good. I love his style. It just came out, the dragon? Well, it's probably sold a lot harder than the Hoi Fong one, because the Hoi Fong one has like worldwide. Let me see. What was the name? Underwood Farms Sriracha. Okay, that's not. Yeah, that's Hoi Fong. God damn it, you can't even... It looks like you can't even get it. Oh, my bad. Is when did this come out? 2 months ago? There was a post a year ago, but things seem really bad now. Website's gone, out of stock at Amazon, Costco. Oh my god, did Underwood go... Oh no. We stopped producing end of last year, but we have inventory that Underwood Family Farms is selling at farmers markets, and oh no, the farmers lost. Fuck you, Hoi Fong. Fuck you and your weird sister. Yeah, that was a good video. Hey, thanks for checking out this video. Check me out on Twitch, SilverDFanng, 2 N's in Fang. Check me out on Twitter and Blue Sky under the same name. Also TikTok. Have a great night.